What is comprehensive financial planning? And this is one of those, what's what? It's a term you hear occasionally. It's something that probably most Americans should understand, especially Americans over the age of 50, is what is comprehensive financial planning. You hear people talk about it a little bit. They kind of have an idea. If I asked 100 people on the street what it meant, I get about 95 answers. What frightens me, if I talk to 100 people in my industry, I get about 85 different answers. It's not that much different. And we're going to talk about the specifics. Let me tell you what I see when, and it's been a while since I've had somebody come in as a new client that has had a financial planner in the past who has done a financial plan for them. And I think that the industry that's not financial planning focused has moved away because it's been a sales tool in the past. Is they use it to sell you on something. And these plans, when somebody would come in and say, oh, I have this plan from XYZ firm, and it would be thick. It would be 80, 90 pages long. I can't write 80 or 90 pages on my own financial life, let alone yours. And I look through it very quickly, and I can tell them exactly how it went when they sat down. Is they kind of breezed through some of the stuff. The advisor went through some of the big number sections. You know, it's just these rows and columns and numbers. And they jump to this one page and they say, well, all the recommendations we have, this is going to solve most of the issues we have. Okay. And you know what they're recommending based on the name on the corporate name on the company door. It's either going to be some sort of insurance or annuity product or some sort of managed money product that's going to solve these problems. Maybe, probably not. My bigger concern is there are a whole bunch of recommendations in that plan that get ignored. So let's talk about kind of how financial planning is supposed to look. Comprehensive financial planning is supposed to look. We're looking at 5 key areas. There are 5 key areas in financial planning. There's retirement. That's always the thumb. We're going to use that as the thumb. We have investments, income taxes, estate planning, and asset protection. Those are your 5 key areas. And I make the retirement the thumb because it kind of can work. It works with all of them. We want to make sure when we bring somebody through the financial planning process that we're looking at all 5 of those areas, that we're maximizing all 5 of those areas, and they're working together. Let me explain what I mean by that. So for instance, income taxes. If we can save money on income taxes, that makes it easier to retire because it's going to be extra cash flow that we have to be able to spend. We don't have to deplete assets as quickly. Conversely, you could have a situation where you are grossly underinsured, say on your car. I had a gentleman years ago who had a small business as a retiree, and he had a van, and he drove around in that van, and he had a substantial portfolio and compulsory or bare minimum legal allowed insurance on that van. So if he hit somebody through no fault of his own, or maybe it's a small fault of his own, somebody could have sued him for his business, which was worth a reasonable amount, and more importantly, his entire portfolio if necessary, because all of that was at risk. So looking at that and making sure all of those pieces go together is the biggest part about financial planning. There's a bunch of different steps to that when we bring somebody through the financial planning process to kind of make sure that we're maximizing somebody's situation. This is the process we go through. So step 1, collect data. It's usually face-to-face. It can be Zoom, online, have people upload documents, things of that nature. I'm a face-to-face guy. And with that is we'll look at just about everything. We ask for the most wackiest things because we need to look at everything. We then take all that back and we develop a plan. And I will tell you, our plans are amazing. They are short. They are amazing, in my opinion. They're not pretty at all because I don't care about the plan. If I'm worried about what it looks like versus what we're doing, we've missed the boat here. But we're going to cover those 5 key areas: retirement, income taxes, investments, estate planning, asset protection, and present all 5 of those areas. So step 3 is to sit back down with the client, either on Zoom or in person, and go through our findings and present them. Then we send them home. We finish presenting and we stop because I've filled somebody's brain too much. We schedule another meeting, we come back, and now we agree on actions. We agree on what's our next step. So we get agreement. Sometimes it's the client doesn't want to do exactly what the numbers say, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes they want to do other things in addition to that we may have missed on the first go round. There's nothing wrong with that. We look at all of those, and now we have an action plan. Now our real work starts. Is Everything we can do for the client, we do for the client. Anything we can do with the client, like estate planning, we do with the client, side by side. Anything we can't do at all, that we're kind of out of the loop, our job is to check in. So things like making changes to your auto and homeowners insurance is something we check up on with the client. And then probably even more important than doing the work, which is vitally important, is reevaluating. That's why I said that plan is not that important. It's a nice touchstone. It's a good reference back to seeing what was going on at that moment, but life changes. So we need to be constantly reevaluating a situation and evaluating the new inputs that are coming in. And that's the financial planning process. I find most people have never experienced that. They may have done a financial plan or may have somebody they call a financial planner. And if you do, and you haven't gotten these things, you have not gotten comprehensive financial planning, and you might want to start looking for it. If you have questions, jump down in the show notes. Let us know. See if we can help. Stay safe out there.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Remember, the views expressed are not necessarily those of Successful Money Strategies. All content is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an endorsement of any third party or their views, or as a solicitation or offer to sell securities or provide investment, tax, legal, or consulting services. We believe the information presented to be reliable, but it is not guaranteed for accuracy or completeness. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Hypothetical returns do not reflect actual trading and may not be indicative of the performance of any specific investment. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Additional information, including management fees and expenses, is provided on our Form ADV Part 2, available upon request, or at the SEC's Investment Advisor Public Disclosure website, https://advisorinfo.sec.gov.